Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Hey y'all, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I just want to go ahead and jump right in, but I wanted to first explain what Saturday Morning Makes is because there may be some of you who don't know. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. There have been quite a few lately, so I thank you for that. I thank you for joining me, for joining my little crafty tribe. And we try to keep it pretty chill around here, pretty supportive, pretty crafty. And yeah, so Saturday Morning Makes, right? It started out as, it's still an open art collaborative, and it was the brainchild by our amazing host, Jillian Norwood. But it started out as being something that we would do once a week to make sure that we had time set aside to craft and to share our wares or our products or our makes or whatever you want to call them with each other using the hashtag #SatMornMakes. That way we were sure we were getting our crafty time in, because often we neglect ourselves of the things that we enjoy doing. And it was also promoting and encouraging socialization, because she started this kind of project, if you will, at the height of COVID, where people were stuck safe in their homes. And yeah, so there wasn't a whole lot of social interactions, and a lot of us were suffering from it. So this was Jill's answer to those issues. And it has since become much bigger than that. And we share every day of the week. We share on every platform. Many of us do have YouTube channels, but not everybody. We share on, obviously, YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. I think I've seen some people mention they're on Threads. Other people go to Pinterest. So there are lots of options. But I would say that if you post somewhere besides kind of those top three, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, that when you do post on one of those three, you also provide the link to whatever other platform you might be using. That's just kind of an aside that I found, because I don't use Threads and I don't use TikTok. So, you know, if you're sharing things on there and you want us to see them, make sure you provide those links as well, or tag us. And I'm not sure how that would work if we don't already have an account. But anyway, I digress. I think everybody is savvy enough that we can figure it out, or we know who we can ask if we can't figure it out. So with that, I encourage you, please join us. Whatever it is you're making, whether it's a paper craft, whether it's a fabric craft, whether it's painting or baking or crocheting or whatever it might be. A lot of people are doing woodworking, making signs, you know, using their Cricuts to do cups and t-shirts, and there are so many potential projects and mediums and all of that. We just want to see what you're making. So use the hashtag #SatMornMakes, and that will alert us to your project, and it will also give you a way to search to find all of ours. So that took much longer than I anticipated, so I'm sorry. I feel like I can't give a quick, easy explanation of #SatMornMakes, because I just feel like it just deserves so much more attention. But anyway, okay. With all that said, I have not had a whole lot of crafty mojo, and I have not spent a lot of time in this room because it's a mess again. I stopped halfway through my organization and sorting and everything. You know what it's like when you get halfway through, it's worse than you started. So that's where I've been, and I just couldn't hardly stand coming in here. So I'm trying to ease myself back in and work on crafting a little bit, and work on cleaning and sorting a little bit as well. So I'm showing myself grace, but also holding myself accountable. So I can't avoid something that I absolutely love just because something that I hate is kind of being a barrier. I've got to take that barrier down, and I'm the only one that can. So that being said, I came in this week with the intention of doing some sewing. I've been wanting to do some sewing for months now, and I finally decided I'm going to do it. So I cleared away all the paper projects and got some of them put away, some of them stacked aside, because we're still doing hashtag snowmen in January 2025. So I don't want to put all my snowman stuff away. But anyway, I got it to a point where I could pull out my sewing machine, and I pulled out some fabric and some thread and some batting, and I've made a couple things. So I want to start by saying I have this bag of Jelly Roll Prim fabric, and that was my idea. I wanted to use, I wanted to make Prim hearts. So I have all of this. It's intended for Christmas, right? But red and beige, red and green aren't specific to Christmas, but because we use red at other times of the year, and we use green, and the beige, of course, is a neutral, so we use it all year. But this one is called, it's from JCS Fabric Vintage Christmas Jelly Roll. And halfway through my crafting, whoop, I remembered that I had these fabric squares, and these would have been much easier to use because I would have ended up with much larger hearts than I did. So I pulled out the ones that I liked, and I just freehand cut different heart shapes. I still have a few in here that didn't get sewn, but I thought these could be really cute, like little scraps on something. Like I was thinking that I wanted to put a little patch on the bigger one that I have here. I'll show you in a minute, but I just didn't want to, but I thought the idea of a patch was fun. So these little cute little hearts could definitely be a patch on something down the road. Or I have these little rectangular squares or triangular squares. I have some rectangular ones as well. And I don't know why I'm calling everything a square, because clearly if it's a triangle, it's not a square. Anyway, I digress. So I did not use these, but I still have them. They're the same colors as my Jelly Roll, but they're just in squares. So there's that. And then I also had this shirt. It was an old, not too old, but an old shirt that I wasn't wearing anymore. In fact, I had it in my giveaway pile. And then I thought, no, you know what? This was before Christmas, but I thought Christmas is coming. This would be beautiful. It had a big piece of black Battenberg lace right in the middle, like from the shoulders and then down the back, you know, like to a point or a rounded point in the middle of the back. But I cut that Battenberg lace out to be used for something else, and then I took the buttons off, except I just saw that I still have this one. I need to take it off. And I also trimmed off, where are those little pieces? These little guys. I thought these might be a fun detail on something too. So I have those just waiting to be used. And if I find anything else on here that's worth cutting off like that, I just might. There was a pocket, but I've got the pocket somewhere. I think it's just tossed. Oh, here's another one. It's just tossed into my scraps right now. But yeah, I mean, that could be used. I mean, you think of that like in a journal, or gosh, even on a card, but it's already made. You could pop that open and have something fun popping out of it. I don't know, it would be fun. Anyway, I took a piece of this shirt. I'm going to toss this over here for now. And I sewed this heart. So I just freehanded the heart. I literally cut a piece of fabric, folded it in half, and then freehand just cut. And I went back and I did some, you know, some cutting off of excess things, but I think it's really cute. And then I popped it onto one of these antique bed frames, which I thought was such a cute idea. The inspiration for this particular project came from Etsy. There was something similar. Mine did not turn out near as cute, and I can tell you now, I am no seamstress. I am not. But I'm an embellisher, and those embellishments really hide the fact that I'm not a good seamstress. And also quantity and repetition, which we'll see on the next project, also hide the fact that I'm not a good seamstress. But I tucked it deep down in this so you can see that it's really kind of squished down in there, right? So it comes right out. Everything that's on here, all these embellishments, they're on the heart. They're not on the spring. So I can use that spring again and again for other things. I need to glue this raffia in this spot. So I added this piece of trim. It's a kind of a, I don't know what this kind of weave is called. I want to call it a basket weave, but it's not. But this is what the trim looks like. I got it from Amazon probably a couple years ago now, but I thought that was fun. I wanted to bring that natural burlappy look. I was also, before I talk more about that, I was also going to kind of grunge it up, grubby it up, but I just didn't have the stamina. My stamina wears out pretty easily these days. but I am getting it back, so I'll accept that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of here because the bed spring keeps wanting to come out of the bed spring. So again, I wrapped this lace or trim, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, wrapped it around, hot glued it in certain spots, and then I took some raffia and did the same thing. Obviously, I need to glue it back up over here because it keeps wanting to fall down. But then I tied it in a knot, and then I have these cute little rusty heart bells. I showed you guys before. I think I got these on Amazon as well, or maybe Temu. Now I can't remember. But then I used some of my sisal and added that on there, and it just is really cute, right? It just, I don't like when I have bigger things because I can't show them effectively, but I will have some pictures at the end. It's a very gloomy, gray, rainy day here in North Carolina, and my pictures aren't going to be incredibly bright, but I will use my lighting and try to make sure that you're able to see better than this. So anyway, I tied these little hearts on, used some hot glue to secure it, and then I made this little tag. It says "Love is handmade," and then I have these sweet little charms and this bulb pen, and I just grunged this up a little bit. I used oxide paint instead of regular distress, and I'm not a big oxide fan. I don't like that chalky look. I know a lot of people do, and it's great for certain things. It's not great for everything, but I guess that's with any medium, right? But these little charms, I started looking in this box, and I went through all of these, and over here I found some little keys and some little locks over here that I thought were really cute, but I have no hearts in there, if you can believe that. But then I remembered that I got this bag of spacers from Temu, and there's all kinds of different things in here, but I was surprised and happy to find this little heart-shaped lock. And then there are little keys, which I'm not seeing. Oh, here's one of the keys. And it has not really hearts inside, but it kind of emulates a heart with the kind of scallop on the top. So I thought those were really cute. And then I just used one of these little beads just as a spacer, which the hole here is bigger than that bead, so it goes back and forth, it goes through it, but it's just another little element. So we've got the key and the spacer and the heart lock, and I thought that's really cute. So all together, there it is. Isn't it adorable? I really think it's cute. I'm going to turn it sideways again. I'm sorry I keep switching directions on it, but there it is. Let me tuck it back into the spring. There we have it. And I think I'm going to put it on my hutch in the entryway. That was actually the second project that I made. Initially, I wanted to make a garland of puffy sewn Prim hearts. So I started out with the Prim hearts, and this is what I ended up with because, again, I'm not a seamstress. So I think this little jar of hearts is absolutely adorable. I love the phrase jar of hearts. It's just very sweet. So I will take them out, and then we'll talk about the rest of it. So let me just go ahead and pour them all out. So these are my little hearts, very poorly sewn, but it is what it is. And so I have several of each of the patterns that are in the packet. In here, except I didn't use the greens. I used some that are red and green, but I didn't use the solid greens. So that goes there. That goes there. Oh, I guess I only have one of these. Okay. So you can see that they're all different because, again, I just folded the fabric in half and then I just cut. Some I cut long and skinny. Some I tried to do a little more stout. But look at that. Look at how poorly sewn that is. It is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up. Individually, they are not good. They just aren't. They just aren't, right? I can be honest with myself about that. No one can be good at everything. This one actually might be the best one, and I thought the stitching is a hot mess, but it might be the best one in here. That one's not horrible. I don't know, guys. Anyway. Looks like some kind of deformed plaid carrot. Oh my. Okay. So as I was going along, I kind of got discouraged and I walked away from it for several days. Actually, I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to allow it to beat me, but I had to walk away. You know how we talk about fresh eyes, right? So that's exactly what I did. And then I remembered, show yourself grace, because not everybody can be good at everything. And not that I'm great at everything else or anything else for that matter, but yeah, it was a struggle. But then I thought, these are not going to go on a garland. What are you going to do with them? And I wish that I had a Prim bowl. And then I remembered somewhere I do. It's not really Prim, but it's that wood bowl that I got from Temu right before Christmas. I don't know where it wound up because I still haven't put Christmas away. So it's a mess out there as well. So anyway, I thought, well, just put them in some kind of a container. You can't find that, that's okay. So I pulled out some different jars and some different vases, and they do look really cute in a bunch. Because you're not looking at each individual and all the flaws therein. You're just looking at, oh, look at that sweet little pile of hearts. That's really cute. And so I put them in this jar, and I really liked it, but it didn't fill it up very much. So I tried it in some other jars, and I just didn't like it as much. But I really liked it in this one, or liked them in this one. So I thought, well, you need to add something around the top anyway. And that ended up filling up that space. And it allows you to see all the hearts in the bottom, but then the bow and the ribbon and stuff take up all that negative space at the top, but still leave place for your eye to rest in between. So I used one of the strips and I tore it in half and I wrapped it around and I put a piece of lace in there, and then I put some raffia and I tied them off in the front, and then I added some more of the sisal, and I didn't want to use the same hearts bell, so I used this one, which came from Temu. It's from this bag, and the heart would have been great. I just wanted to try something different. And then I made another tag, and here it says jar of hearts, 5 cents. And I did it backwards on purpose. And then I have the same little charms and bulb pen, and then I added the same sisal. So they're cute, they're fun, they do make me happy, and I remind myself about, you know, imperfections. That's life is very imperfect. We are very imperfect, and you know, it's still beautiful. There's still beauty and charm in these imperfections. So that is my lesson for the last couple of weeks. That's my takeaway from my crafting. And yeah, I just really wanted to share them with you. I have no snowmen to share with you. Hashtag snowmen in January 2025 is still going on, and I'm seeing beautiful and many makes. Like, y'all are knocking it out of the park. So I'm very glad that y'all picked up the banner and are running with it, and I appreciate each of you and for tagging me, and I'm going around and seeing all your makes. Again, my stamina isn't great, so sometimes I just don't have the stamina to write comments, and I know that doesn't sound like it would take a lot of stamina, but if you struggle with chronic fatigue, you understand. Please trust me, I'm liking everything, giving hearts, writing comments as I'm able, and yeah, I love you guys, and I thank you for spending time with me. I thank you for being so faithful and true and sweet and kind and supportive and all of those wonderful things that make you who you are. I appreciate you, and I will be back soon. I have some happy mail that I want to share that I received this week. It's not a lot, so it won't be a long video, but I do like to put my happy mail in their own videos. I think it's important to share what others send me that brings me joy. So I will also be working on some snowman projects, and I have a little project that it was kind of a mother-son challenge. So when my son was down for my birthday weekend, the weekend of the 5th, we did a challenge in here, and we set some certain parameters, and he did not get his finished, but he set it aside. I'm looking at it across the room right now, and he will finish that the next time he comes down. I did get mine finished, so I want to show it, but again, that'll be in a video of its own, and it will be coming up sooner than later. So a couple things to look out for, and if you have not already shopped Anna White's new release for her new products in her new company, go check her out. So I guess it's not a new company per se, but she's now releasing crafty items under her own name, Sweet Miss Daisy, and that was her puppy, one of her puppies. She is definitely an animal lover, and that's one of the things that I so appreciate about her. But y'all, go check her out. Make sure you check out Jill Norwood as well. See what she's made for us this weekend. And I know My Creative Time just had a release. It actually went live yesterday morning, Friday morning. I think it was at 8 a.m., but I don't know what time zone. So anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. Thanks so much. Make sure you hop around and see what everybody is making, because there's so much inspiration out there. I can't wait to hop around myself. Again, you guys are amazing. I love you so much. And until next time, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I'm out.